Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, basically what I have for you guys is an entire diagram that I constructed with the top 3 prop firms in the game right now. And it's basically just an entire scaling plan, an entire blueprint, you can even call it, to go from $0 a month to that 5-figure month mark and making 10K, 25K, and even 50K in a month. I'm going to walk through the entire process, basically just a scaling plan video. And after you're done with this video, this is probably going to be the only scaling plan video you'll ever need. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this scaling plan. So at the start right here, what do we see? We have two firms right here, Alpha Futures and My Funded Futures. So the good thing about these firms is that they have literally the two cheapest accounts in the game. So they have Alpha Futures, they have accounts for $99, and My Funded Futures, they have accounts, I actually need to change this right now, $99. And the core plan for My Funded Futures, they have that for $77. Now, if you use code AB at checkout, you can get percentages off. So with Alpha Futures, they usually run sales. Alpha Futures, they'll run 25% off sometimes, but the standard is 10% off, which is why I changed that from $89 to $99, because with that 10% off, it brings it down to $89. Now with My Funded Futures, they have 5% off. They run sales occasionally, so 5% off of $77, whatever it may be. You're not really saving that much money, but saving some money is better than none. But right now with Alpha Futures, at the time of recording, if you're watching this before Sunday, October 26th, they are currently running 30% off on all accounts due to the AWS outage that occurred on Monday, where basically all Project X accounts went down. So for right now, for the zero plan till Sunday, October 26th, you can get the 50K account, because that's what you should start off with, for around $70, which is pretty nice, which is actually cheaper than the core plan. And me personally, I think that the zero plan honestly have better accounts. So let's go ahead and walk through the Alpha Futures route if you choose that. So with the Alpha Futures accounts, you have the 50K account. They also come with the 100K account in the zero plan, but I recommend getting the 50K account because, again, these are entry-level accounts. So again, if you buy it for Sunday, you're paying around $70. There's a one-day minimum pass. There's no activation fee. There's a $1,500 payout cap, 40% consistency, only on the funded, no consistency on the eval. 5 winning days of $200 to get a payout, and then there's a 90% profit split. So going on to the scaling plan with this account and with the zero plan as well, you are going to purchase one 50K account. With this 50K account, you're going to go for the max payout, meeting the 40% consistency rule. So the max that you can make in a day is, I think, around like $1,200. You can do the calculation. And again, also read through all of these prop firms as well, right? So you have Alpha Futures, My Funded Futures, Topstep. Go to their websites, take the time to actually read through all of their rules. I only really listed their highlights, right? Their most attractive features, right? And just really highlighting it out for you, right? I guess also the most important ones as well. So we have this out the way, and then for the scaling plan, purchase one 50K account, go for the max payout, $1,500, and then you're gonna take this payout after profit split. It'll run you around like $1,300. That's where you're gonna get to the bank, $1,300, $1,350, somewhere around that. But with that payout, you're going to reinvest right back into these accounts. Now, how are you going to risk on evals versus your funded? So on your evals, you're going to be a little bit more risk heavy. You're probably going to risk half of your drawdown, maybe a little bit less. Risk $750, risk $1,000. But essentially, you're trying to get your evals passed efficiently, right? As fast as possible. But again, you're not being stupid. So you're going to risk a little bit more heavier on evals. And then when you get to that funded stage, then you're going to decrease your risk. So the sweet spot on funded accounts are risking $500, especially for the 50K accounts. Risk $500 per trade, and that will give you a 4-trade buffer, right? So that means you will lose 4 trades in a row before blowing the account. And again, if you are trading a low risk to reward but a high win rate strategy, the chances of you losing 4 trades in a row is pretty slim. So with that being said, you're going to reinvest in more accounts. So you either get 2 accounts or you get 3 accounts if you end up blowing the first account. And then this will put you at max allocation with Alpha Futures right here. So now you're going to go for the max payout on all of these accounts, again, risking $500 per trade. And this will net you around $4,000. I think this is actually after profit split. So now with this $4,000, you now have 2 options. You can go straight to the advanced plan with Alpha Futures, or if you want to go to Topstep, you can also go that route. So if you want to get max allocation with the best accounts on Alpha Futures, go with the advanced plan, or just go straight to Topstep. Now, you've already established that proof of concept. You've gone that 1 payout, and then you've gone those 3 payouts on the 0 plan accounts right here. So now you go to Topstep. All right, we covered at least the entry level side on Alpha Futures right now. So now let's go to the My Funded Futures route before going to the more advanced accounts. Now, for My Funded Futures, we have the core plan. Now, the good thing about the core plan is that it's really just cheaper than Alpha Futures. $77 for a 50K account. You have a 2-day minimum pass, no activation fee, and then you have $1,000/$3,000 payout cap, because I think what the promotion that My Funded Futures is running right now is with these core plans, you can request $3,000. It's a little add-on at checkout. It's free, no cost. But basically, you can request $3,000 on these accounts. And that means you would have to make $6,000 in order to request $3,000. Now, with these entry-level accounts, the goal of this is not really to build your accounts, right? Not to build the balance. You're just trying to get the first payout whenever you can. So really, you're just going to be taking that $1,000 payout cap. And if you really want, you can go a little bit higher and take out the $1,500 to match Alpha Futures, because I think they're going to leave this promo up for a little while. So with this, 50% consistency rule on the eval only. So that means on the funded, there is no consistency at all. But you still have that payout cap. So hand in hand, comparing Alpha Futures 0 plan to core plan, they're essentially the same. There isn't really that much of a difference if you really get down to the nitty gritty of it. And really, it's just 5 winning days of $100, and then the only difference is the 80% profit split. So I still personally think Alpha Futures has the better plan. I mean, although they have max allocation with 3 accounts versus 5 accounts, Alpha Futures has Project X, My Funded Futures doesn't. So if you want to copy trade it, it does get a little bit tricky and a little bit inconvenient. So now let's go to the scaling plan. Purchase one 50K account. You go for the max payout. I recommend just going for the $1,000 payout. And again, risking the same way, where you either risk half of your drawdown on the eval stage, or you risk around $750 per trade. Again, risking a little bit more because you're trying to get your evals passed in the most time efficient manner, right? At the end of the day, you have to realize you're investing around $70 per account. So if you blow it, it's not the end of the deal. You're trying to get to that payout stage, and that's where you actually lock in. So purchase 150K account, keep that same risk plan on the evals. Then once you pass it, go for that max payout, risking $500 per trade. Same thing as the alpha side. And then you're gonna take that payout. I recommend, again, taking that $1,000 payout or $1,500 payout, taking the funds that you get from that, reinvesting in 2 more accounts, right? So you're gonna go from 1 to 3, and then once you have 3 accounts, get a payout on those. So let's say if you get $1,000 each, right? $1,000 payout each on those, then you'll have around $3,000. Again, with the profit split, it may differ. And then with those 3 accounts, go to 5 accounts, right? Now you're max allocated with My Funded Futures. Again, not with the best plan, but still with accounts, you are max allocated. So now you get $1,000 payout on 5 accounts, and then that will net you around $4,000, again, equivalent to Alpha Futures 0 plan. Now, you have two options again. You can go with My Funded Futures, go with the zero plan, or you can go to Topstep, or you can hop over and go to the advanced plan with Alpha Futures. So same thing on the Alpha side, you can go to Topstep, you can go to the Pro plan, but here is what I recommend. So now you're at the stage where you're either with Alpha or you're with My Funded Futures. What I recommend from this stage is just go straight to Topstep. Now, the reason behind this is you don't have a bunch of plans like you have with My Funded Futures and with Alpha Futures. With Topstep, what you have essentially is just one type of account. All you have are 50K accounts, 150K accounts, and then you also have 100K accounts, but honestly, I don't really understand why people get 100K accounts when you either have the smallest account or you have the biggest account, right? It's like being a middle child in a family, right? Nobody really sees you. You're always ignored, right? Nobody appreciates you. It's the same thing with the 100K accounts. Nobody really acknowledges you. Everybody ignores you. You just don't want to get those accounts. There's no point. You might as well just go for the smallest account or you go for the biggest account. So with this, we're going to Topstep now, all right? And here are the accounts to get. You either get the 50K account or you get the 150K account. This will either run you $50 or $150 for the combines, and then 2-day minimum pass. So there's a $150 activation fee for all size accounts, 50, 100, 150K. And then they have a $5,000 payout cap. And again, you can request 50% of your total balance. And you need 5 winning days of $150 to request a payout. And you only have a 50% consistency rule on eval, and on the funded, you have no consistency rule at all whatsoever, which is absolutely peak. That is beautiful. With a 90% profit split as well, which is why Topstep has been a killer firm for, I think, more than 10 years now. They've been in the game the longest, so they're like the OGs. So you can't ever do wrong with Topstep. They will always pay you out. I've been paid out multiple 6 figures with them, so I have absolutely zero complaints with them. Peak firm with Topstep, super reliable. So now you have two options, right? You go with the 50K scaling plan or the 150K scaling plan. I recommend, since you've been on 50K accounts, go to the 50K scaling plan first. Now, since you've already established proof of concept, once again, you can go and buy 5 50K accounts. So you're going to copy trade all of these accounts through Project X again, because that is the only platform they provide now. They don't have Tradeovate, they don't have any of that stuff. They are just strictly with Project X, and they own Project X as well. So again, go with Project X, copy trade all of the accounts, and the plan is, again, risking $500 per trade. Keep that in mind, $500 per trade on the funded stage. You're going to build the balance to $4,000 on all 5 accounts. And then once you can request a payout, request $2,000 on all accounts. And this will net you $10,000. And after profit split, it'll be $9,000. That is technically your first 5-figure month right there in the books, sealed. Now, same thing with My Funded Futures. Go to the 50K scaling plan once again. Once you are at this stage where you hit that 5-figure month mark, you have now multiple options. Once again, you can go to Alpha Futures, advanced plan, get max allocation with them with the best accounts that they have, which are the advanced plan, or you can go all the way, again, following this arrow to the pro plan. Or you can, I didn't draw an arrow for this, or you can upgrade to the 150K accounts with Topstep. But for now, we will go the Alphas route, and then after that, I'll show you the My Funded Futures route, and then I'll show you the bump up to the 150K scaling plan. So now you hit your first 5-figure month. With this, let's go to Alpha. The advanced plan, what they offer, 50K/150K accounts, $139 or $419. Again, if you use a discount, they become cheaper. So 10% off. Right now, it's 30% off. So the 150K accounts, they are now around $270 per account, which is absolutely crazy. And then the 50K advanced accounts are I don't really know. I don't trade 50Ks personally, so I don't really know, but it's 30% off. So with these, you get a 2-day minimum pass, $150 activation fee, and then there's a $15,000 payout cap on the advanced plan accounts and then the standard plan accounts. But I didn't include the standard plan accounts because they have tiered profit splits, so you might as well just go with the advanced accounts and have just one standard profit split of 90%. That's what I recommend. On the eval stage, there's a 50% consistency, and then on the funded stage, there is no consistency at all. There's no contract limit as well, so right when you get on the funded stage, you can rip max contracts. You don't have to make a certain amount before getting access to more leverage, to more contracts. So that's a good thing and a bad thing because, again, it exposes you to more risk, and they have that for a reason. Remember that. But just throwing that out there just so, you can see the advantages of it. But what I also need to mention as well is that they have a daily loss limit. So on the 50K accounts, they have a daily loss limit of $1,000, 150K, daily loss limit of $3,000. Going back to this zero plan as well, 50K, I think they have a daily loss limit of, I think $1,000, and then 100K is $2,000. So they also have a daily loss limit as well. I don't know about the core plan. I don't know if they do. You'd have to look into it. So again, just go on their websites and actually read the rules so you know 100% for sure. So no contract limit, 5 winning days of $200, pretty standard 90% profit split. That's basically it. Now with the scaling plan, since you have 3 accounts, I would recommend to build a little bit more of a buffer before requesting because, again, they have that $15,000 payout cap right here. So you purchase 3 50K accounts or 150K accounts, you copy trade all of them with Project X, build a balance this time to $10,000/$20,000. I think this is doable. You just have to be consistent, right? You have to be consistent, disciplined, and if you take a loss, you take a loss, right? You just go and learn from it. You just come back the next day. This is going to require a little bit more work, but this is what is going to get you to those 20K plus months, right? Build the balance to 10K, 20K, right? 10K for 50Ks, 20K for 150Ks, and then you're going to request 5K/10K on all, and this will net you 15/30K, and then after profit split, 13.5K/27K after profit split. Right, so that will get you to those 20K months if you're trading 50K accounts. Now, we will go to the pro plan with My Funded Futures. So if you decide after taking this payout, you want to go to the pro plan now, let's run through that really quick. With the pro plan, what do we have? 50K and 150K accounts right here, $227/$477. Again, if you use a code AB at checkout, 5% off. So that will save you a little bit of money. Again, not as much as Alpha Futures, but still a significant amount. At least you're not paying full price. 2-day minimum pass, 50% consistency on eval, no consistency on the funded, just like Alpha Futures, no activation fee. But then again, it is a little bit more expensive compared to Topstep and compared to the advanced plan, right? So you have to keep that in mind because in the advanced plan, you have an activation fee, but with the 30% off, it kind of does match the pro plan prices, right? No activation fee, and then for the payout cap, it is a $100,000 payout cap lifetime. So technically speaking, on the pro plan accounts, there is no payout cap, but the most money that you can make from My Funded Futures is $100,000, and then you get moved to a live account. I don't really know what happens if you blow the live account or if you hit the $100,000 and you blow the live account. I don't know if you get sent back to the eval stage or they just ban you from the firm. What I think I've heard is that they have like an eval to live stage, even if you blow the live account, where it's like special rules and stuff. Basically, they kind of soft ban you from buying new accounts since you already hit that payout cap. But beside the point, instead of the 5 winning days to get the payout, it is now a payout every 14 calendar days. So you'll have like a designated day every 14 days that you can request a payout on. There's mixed opinions about it. Personally, I like the 5 winning days. I think it's pretty chill. And with My Funded Futures, you have the 80% profit split as well. So with the scaling plan, same thing. You're going to be risking, the same. With the 150K accounts, so I did say on the 50K accounts how much to risk on evals, but if you're going with the 150K accounts, Again, you have a $4,500 drawdown, so I would risk $1,500 per trade. That's honestly reasonable. Go for a 1 to 2. The profit target is $9,000. 1 to 2, $3,000, $3,000, and then $3,000. You will pass in 3 days, right? Or you can pass in 2 days and go for that 1 to 3 risk to reward. So either risk $1,500 or $2,250 if you're being a little bit risky. Half of your drawdown or a third of your drawdown. It's all up to you. Same thing with Topstep and same thing with my funded futures as well. I don't think they have a daily loss limit on the advanced plan. For the evals, I think that is just on the funded stage only. So going back to my funded futures, you're going to copy trade all of these accounts through Tradeovate. On the Tradeovate platform, you have to do group buys, something like that. It's a little bit more complicated compared to Project X, which is why I kind of like the conveniency with Project X for alpha futures and Topstep. So you can also do it through TradeSyncer. I'll go over that as well at the end. So you're going to build a balance to $4,000/$10,000. Same thing as Topstep. You're going to request $5,000/$10,000 on all of them, and that will net you $10,000/$25K. And after profit split, it'll be $8,000/$20,000 after profit split, right? So again, that gets you to around that 20K month mark if you're going this route as well. A little less than the alpha futures route, because of course you're not building that big of a buffer compared to alpha futures. But regardless, you're still making a good amount of money combining these two firms, right? Or these two firms. Now, we get to the final stage. Or actually, no, we did forget about one thing, the 150K scaling plan with Topstep, right? So this was the kind of last thing that I wanted to go over before talking about TradeSyncer, which is the jumping from 50K accounts to 150K accounts with Topstep. So what are the advantages of jumping to 150K accounts with any sort of firm, right? You have My Funded Futures, you have Alpha, and then you have Topstep. What are the advantages? Well, with the 150K accounts, you get access to more drawdown. So with the 50K accounts, you only get access to $2,000 in drawdown. With the 150K accounts, you get access to $4,500 in drawdown. And you get access to more contracts typically, and you're basically able to scale more. So me personally, I have 5 150K accounts with Topstep right now, and I copy trade all of them with Project X. And basically what I do religiously is build the balance up to $10,000 every time, sometimes even more. And then I request $5,000 on each account, again, because I'm able to scale a little bit more just due to the fact that I have $4,500 due to, or compared to $2,000 in drawdown. Request $5,000 on each account, and that will get me to that 25K month, right? So that will get you to that 25K month officially, and after profit split, it'll be $22,500. Now, we just covered basically the entire plan. But if you want to get to those 50K plus months, to those near 100K months, 100K plus months even, because you can request 2 accounts, or sorry, I can't talk right now. You can request 2 payouts or more in a single month from each prop firm, right? We go down to TradeSyncer, okay? You get a TradeSyncer subscription that'll run you like $100 a month. You get max allocation with all of these firms right here, and then you're able to copy trade them. There you go. Now you're just executing on one platform, and all of your profits are copying over to all 3 of these firms right here. And that is exactly what I am doing right now. I didn't go over the accounts that I have with My Funded Futures. I have the scale plan accounts. Basically, they have no consistency rule. They're kind of like the core plan a little bit, but they just have like a higher payout cap. So they have a $6,000 payout cap. So I have, go ahead and also go on their website and, go through the accounts and see which ones are good for you. I just gave you beginner friendly ones, but I have the scale accounts, 550Ks with My Funded Futures. And then I have 3 150K advanced accounts with Alpha Futures, and then I have 5 150K accounts with Topstep. So I'm going to be copy trading all of those with TradeSyncer, and that is how in November I am going to start getting hopefully consistent 50K plus months. But yeah, that's basically it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you want this entire image, PDF, diagram, whatever it may be, I'll link it in my Discord, and it'll be in the description down below. Free, just join, snag the PDF, snag the image, save it, template for you guys. Enjoy, right? Learn, see what you like the best, see what route where you want to go. I laid it out all for you guys. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, also just leave it in the comments below. But yeah, I hope you guys were able to get some sort of information from this video. I hope you guys were able to learn something. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.